All right, so hello everyone, back again. So today we have Jacopo from Italy. Thank you for coming today, Jacopo. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
All right, awesome. So Jacopo, maybe before we start, do you mind introducing yourself a bit to the audience?
Okay, so I'm from Italy. I'm 21 and I study IT, um, especially programming and architecture of PCs. So um, basically everything that is the aspect of a program and the basic of a PC.
Okay, okay. It's very
And yeah, apart from that, I do volunteer work in Agape, which is
mm,
a center where I met Rapco, and
okay.
we met there. So
That's nice. That's nice. So what first interests you to take IT?
I think it was like many years ago, but the the first thing probably was the TV series Mr. Robot when I was little. I don't know if you know it, but because it was, I think it's very very beautiful, but uh, uh, it's like it interested me in many aspects of the IT world, and so that's probably the main reason. But
Mm,
of course, there are also many other aspects of it.
okay, okay. So it starts from your interest. It starts from you watching a television series, Mr. Robot,
Mostly, yeah,
uh,
mostly, yeah.
and from that it prompted you to take IT in university.
Yeah, before that, I didn't know what to choose.
Okay. So far, how is your experience taking IT for university?
I actually thought it was easier, so it's very hard, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, everything is probably hard like this, so it has to be hard. And
Mm,
so I think it's pretty difficult to study because it's not what you're used to study because you have to put your mind in a different perspective and also there is a lot of math and you know maybe for some people it's easy and it's just like connecting easy stuff, but for me it's not like that. So I have to put a lot of work into it, and so far it's not easy, but I really like it. So uh, it's like that.
okay, okay. So you said that there is the main difficulty in IT is how we need to see it from a different perspective. And as you mentioned before,
Mhm.
there's also a lot of math
Yeah,
involved, is it?
yeah, because there is the mathematic logic behind, and also at the basic of like a program that you're typing, there is many stuff that you never thought about before, and
Mm,
all that type of thinking and the, the process you have to do to make the right decisions. It's not that common, so you have to get used to it.
okay, okay. So what do you do to overcome these challenges and get used to it?
Yeah, a lot of hours of
Uh,
study and practicing. That's all, because it's not just hard. It's not great, but if you're not used to it, you just have to practice.
Okay. How much time do you spend studying per week?
Per week, I mean, it's probably like 8 to 9 hours a day. So, except like on Sunday when I study a little bit less, but it's like that.
Okay. So it takes a lot of hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In your opinion, through what ways can development in the IT sector help human life?
Of course, there are many ways, but probably the most important one would be like using the power of computing for health issues. You know, we probably use computers to calculate how to make the vaccine for COVID, but we use it every day for many stuff. So I think we we have to develop IT and use it to for basically for health issues and if possible to help the countries who can't afford many things by itself. You know, I know that companies and people like trying to think, but basically like Microsoft, they tried to use IT to clean water in many countries in Africa. So I think that's the way we should go. But of course, everything is difficult, and there are people who want to go to Mars, and it's okay. We have to go in many ways, many roads, as we can say.
Well, this is an interesting explanation that you provided. So IT can help us in a way by improving living conditions through healthcare and, as you said before, providing clean water as well.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, usually when people think of IT, they usually associate it with computer and then computation and things that are digital. But before you mentioned that IT is used by Microsoft to help provide clean water in Africa, was it?
Yeah, I saw like it was like a documentary, but a film where Bill Gates found an association for providing clean water in many countries in Africa, and so he spent a lot of millions of dollars for research ways for cleaning water in a very cheap ways, and of course there is IT involved, and so many he like sent this money and said to many universities around the world, I have this job to do. You have my money and like my software and everything, and you have to provide me with something, and I have to clean water. And now he's trying to do that. So I mean, it's not only IT, but I think that IT is the main, how do you say it? You have to work with IT to provide many vital needs for many people.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and he is just one of many who is doing that.
Mm. So, more or less what Bill Gates did, he indirectly sponsored universities to conduct research on technologies
Yes.
that can provide clean water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Although we agree that there is a lot of benefits and advantages that IT development has to human life. In your opinion, is there any possible disadvantages that IT development can bring to our society?
Mm, yeah, of course, when there is good, there is always bad, and there is always in the middle. So probably, but the bad is it's in my personal opinion, it's where people and country use IT for research in, in army and in development in a new and a more powerful army and weapons. And I really think that we need to invest more in the health issues. And I think that IT is a very, very powerful tool for develop weapons. So, I mean, it's not like a very big issue because we have been doing that for the whole humankind history. But I just think that we could use that money and IT in other ways.
Okay.
And of course, we could talk about like the deep web and all the IT, that part of IT, but that's so huge that
Okay, okay.
there is also that stuff. But
All right. So, on the other hand, other than bringing a better life, IT can also be used to develop more dangerous weapons and in the
yeah,
end
yeah,
also kill human lives. Okay, before you mentioned something about the deep web.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first thing that comes to my mind when because when you think of IT, you also associate it to the internet, and, and I mean, we probably all have heard some horrible stories about the deep web and what circulates in it. So, but realistically, there is nothing we can do about it. It's like the 98% of the internet is deep web. So it's too big to do anything about it. We just need to stay out of it or just see what it is and understand it and study it if there is anything to, but there is always something to study about everything. So maybe study it, but that's more or less the negative aspect of the internet, and that's not all.
Okay. Maybe can you explain a bit like how does deep web differs to the common web browser that we use, such as Google Chrome or Firefox? So it's like how can information that circulates in deep web cannot it's not available in the common internet browser
Yeah.
that we use.
Uh, yes, because it's actually not very hard to join the deep web. It's very easy, but you need to have a program, and so you will have a separate browser. And but then with that browser, with that program, you can't do anything. Then you have to do what you have to do is to search into what we always refer to internet and look for the links to the deep web, because the links for the deep web, the main ones are in the normal web. And then once you're in, you can go and navigate through it. But if you don't go and look for it and you don't have already downloaded and set up all the needed programs and everything, you can't just stumble on it and fall into it and make something bad. It's not possible. So it's like you really need to want to go there.
Okay. So to access the deep web, there's some sort of specific, like more or less key or link that you have to know?
No, it's a program.
Oh, program.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want, I can tell it.
Maybe not during the live recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not a bad program. It's actually a normal one, but it's used to do that.
Okay.
You can also use it for other normal activities.
Oh. So
Yeah.
then it's just like a common program, like the usual program that we found in computer, but then this can, so then it goes back to what's the purpose of us using the internet?
Of course.
Okay. Although we know that there are many developments in the IT sector in the past years and the past decades as well, what do you think is the most prominent IT development recently that has affected a wide part of society and changed the world in many ways?
Well, the biggest one is probably World Wide Web, which is not very recent, but it's so huge that I cannot just avoid quoting it. So it has to be World Wide Web, and the major part of the internet we all use, because it's just the biggest revolution of communication we had. And so after that, we all of the IT sectors just grew immensely, and because all the researchers from all around the world could communicate and gather and work together. And before that, you had to go and move to another place, and it's just a mess. So the biggest one is probably World Wide Web. Other than that, if we think about IT as a very large sector, we probably could think also about satellites, which nobody talks about very much, but they are very useful because, I mean, we use satellites every day without even know that we are using them. And even though we throw junk into the space, it's very, very useful. And I mean, how many times do we use maps online? And they are amazingly difficult to make because I mean, the Earth moves, everything moves, the satellites move. We have to calculate everything. So I really like that part, and I think it's very, very important.
Okay. So when you explain the World Wide Web, it helps the transfer of information and researches between countries.
Yeah.
And in terms of,
yeah, because I mean, at the beginning, of course, it was difficult because in the 90s or even before, there was no speed or anything, but just to have the possibility to write a long email and attach a file, it was too important.
Okay. And in regards to that, some parties also argue that the development and invention of the World Wide Web also promote globalization that they think erode things such as national culture or identity and diminish the sense of nationalism and patriotism. What do you think about that statement?
It's probably true. It's a downside of the aspect of being all in communication, but I think that our most national. How did you define it?
Nationalism and
Yeah,
patriotism.
yeah. Our true national. Sorry.
Identity.
Yeah, identity is in our. Yeah, it cannot be like changed only with these kind of things. Sorry, I have to rephrase. I mean, we have all country have like thousands of years of history, and I really think that our history will not be changed by that. So if we go in our like churches, in our squares, we have the history right there. We can touch it, and I think that's more powerful. And if we are strong enough and we have the will to understand that it's everything is still there, we just maybe forgot about it. We will not lose it, and we just have to like make a balance between this everything.
Okay. So although, well, despite of that argument, it comes back to the citizens' will to learn more about their culture and history. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
O-
and not
Okay.
just focus on the what is easy and what is most. I mean, we all have internet and we can access it every day. But I mean, if you are afraid to lose your culture, you go and look for your culture. It's also in your city. It's
Mm,
there, or even on internet. So I mean, it's also about you. It's not about the internet.
mm. Yeah, that's a very interesting and I think a very effective solution to cope with the challenges brought by the internet and globalization. Another drawback of the transfer of information is how easy ideologies that can be harmful, such as extremism, and those things be distributed to the common people and eventually they become indoctrinated and can harm each other. So in your opinion, like in terms from the IT perspective, is there a particular technology or a way that help sort out the information that is being distributed throughout the web?
Right now, no. I mean, like for example, in these days there is an issue with the Google algorithm that is like censoring. I don't know, like the exact English, like is deleting some content which are obviously not harmful. And so like we are trying, I mean, not we, but some people are trying to make algorithm and like probably AI to control this stuff. But I think we are very far. It's not possible to emulate a human mind or a human person who is controlling stuff. I think for now, this bad habits and probably bad people who are on the internet are still free to go, and it's not very possible to stop them if they know what to do.
Okay.
Even if it's all post a tweet. Sorry, I have the low battery. So like they just they can like only post a tweet, and it's very difficult to stop them. But it's not impossible. We just need to have some more time. That's all. And we need to have researchers. We need to have people who have the money to invest and everything. But for now, we need to have some humans with the help of a software.
Okay. So, based on the current condition, there is still no IT technology that is able to achieve that objective yet. Okay, okay, all right. So, but in the future, then if there's a large. Okay, all right. So as you mentioned before, oh, can you hear me? Okay, so I think before we're talking about the current unavailability of a technology that is able to sort the information yet, right?
Yeah, and I think it's like there is the need of for now a mix of people with AI or programs, and like the program like make the first control, and then there has to be like controlling, and then for the future maybe there will be enough technology just to be AI controlling.
Okay. Since you mentioned before, on the current condition, there AI still needs to be accompanied by human assistance, right? But in the future, is it possible that artificial intelligence and technology is able to accomplish all to replace humans in all types of jobs, or there is still a specific types of jobs that won't be replaced by technology?
No, I think that the AI will be programmed only to be, they will be designed only for some specific jobs, like maybe controlling and like ban people from internet or some sites. I don't think they will control all the jobs, or they will overcome many jobs, because there are a few jobs where like we really need perfection, because I mean if we think about the AI, we probably like think in this job we need perfection, maybe surgery, maybe yeah, I mean, I can't really think about many of them. Surgeries is the first that comes to mind. There, in some years, I can probably see a robot with an AI very well programmed who does the surgery. But even there, I will always see some humans controlling, even if it's the robot who is doing the surgery. I don't think we will ever have only AI or only robots, even in 100 years.
Okay. So, yeah.
It's only my personal opinion.
It's okay. So even if AI is at the forefront of the job, there will still be the human that's controlling the AI.
Yeah, but even only for maintaining the AI, controlling that everything is working, because probably there will be the need for a lot of computing behind a lot of hardware, and for that there will always be the need for humans, for and that's the main meaning for a human being to be with an AI in a work.
Okay. All right. Yeah. In the current condition, like I think there's some sort of shift where an IT and technology development tends to be centered in Europe and United States in the previous years. Now it kind of changes to the East Asian countries and even India, just or China and Japan. In your opinion, what factors caused that shift in the center of AI development?
Yeah, I actually think that at the beginning of this big IT explosion, like Europe and mostly USA, they like manufactured all their like PCs and smartphone. They used to manufacture all of that stuff in the, like, let's say Asia, and I think that was like good for the economics, but a throwback for, because they like set a model, and now that model was also taken and used by Asian states and Asian countries. So I think that's the main reason, because like we, and by we I mean Europe, USA, and all. We tried to like reduce our cost and like try to maximize our profits. But now I think that, and we can see that some manufacturers, factories are moving from Asia. They are going like in South America. So I think that maybe they are realizing that their model was not so stolen, but I mean that the other companies understood how to do it, and we see the growth of other companies, and in consequence of states like, as you said, India, but also China. And so I think that there was this model, and it was not even copied. It was just it was in their country. They just said, I mean, we can also do it because it's our people, and they just did it, and they are offering some very, very good products, and their market just grew immensely.
So,
but the main model was the same one as the European and mainly America.
Okay. So like it all started from them placing manufactured models in East Asian countries, and from that it indirectly becomes a medium for the East Asian workers to practice how to create that model and develop it themselves.
Probably, but I mean, I just go for logic. I mean, because for sure they arrived first, and if you see like someone who use this model and make a lot of money, and you have the potential to do the same, and you also have their factories in your own country, I mean, you do the same. So that's just logic for me, and maybe that's not even true, but their like market advertisement, it's all similar, but everything is very similar nowadays, even if it's very very far away as a country, you all see like similar advertisement for the products, so it's all level up in these years. So I just think it's the same for the factories and the model of.
Okay. Does this increase competition from the East
A lot.
Asian? East Asian,
Yeah, a lot.
yeah, East Asian
Yeah,
countries.
you can. Yeah, we can see, but like for AMD and Intel, which are the main manufacturers of for CPUs, for like 10 years, AMD was like in difficult in a difficult stage. They had great products, but they I don't know what was wrong with them, because I'm not an expert, but in America, Intel was very very strong, and as soon as they AMD brought a very good product and it went very good in America, Intel is gone. And I don't know if it's like the same thing, because they have the same manufacturing, the same everything. They are everything is the same. So it's incredible. So the competition is very very high. One day you're on the top. You are on the top. Day.
Sorry, hello?
Because I mean,
hello? I
can
think,
you hear me?
yeah, sorry, the signal got cut off, I think, before.
Sorry. Where? You can't hear.
Yeah, wait. I can hear you now. Wait. Okay. I can hear you now. I think before you are explaining about how one day you can be at the top, but then another day you can get easily out maneuvered by the competitor.
Yeah, then I said just that maybe it's not for all the sectors and all, because if we think about smartphones, maybe Apple is still on top and probably will still be on top for many years, but that's probably like a single case. I don't think there are any other case like that.
Okay. In your opinion, what quality does a technology or software company needs to have to continuously be in the top of the market?
I think you probably need to have a very good I don't know the English. Let me think the translation. The company sector who relates with the public.
Okay.
So, because if I'm thinking about my personal experience, because of course I'm not an expert. If I think about a company, I don't want to see advertise everywhere about their product. I want to see maybe, yes, I want to see some advertise, but I want to see a very good one. I want to see not a boring one. I want to see one that knows that I am maybe from my country, and not the one for all the world, all the same, repeated and repeated. I want to see some connection between the company and even like the world region. It's okay if it's for Europe, because I don't know, or maybe show the shops in my country. I don't know, it's just ideas like that, but I want to see that they are not just putting their products at my face thinking I will buy them, and because they will probably be good products, because it's difficult to find bad products nowadays. So I think it's very important to have a public relation sector, which is very, very good.
Okay. So because yeah.
No, go.
All right. So because now all companies product quality is similar to each other, now it goes back to their engagement to their customer, and how they are able to attract their customer, not solely based only on their product.
Yeah, and also how they behave with their community, how they are like they have to be very free, very they don't have to hide anything. They if they say something, it has to be that. So, for example, Google said that in their Pixel 4 smartphone there was some metal component. I won't go into the details, but there was a metal component inside of the smartphone which was plastic, and it was a huge deal because then it didn't compromise the smartphone itself. But I mean, if you in your advertise you say metal component and then it's plastic, I mean, it's not very for me. I won't buy the smartphone for that. Maybe someone else will say I don't care, but there are some people who care about that stuff. I am part of that.
Okay. So now credibility of reputation is equally important as credibility of quality, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because the quality will always rise, and it's already at almost not at its peak, but it's very, very high. I mean, and it's also you can get very good stuff for a good price. So yeah, I think it's very, very important the credibility of the company.
Okay. And maybe as a closing statement, do you have any messages or tips for our audience who are planning to take computer science or be involved in the IT field in the future?
I think we just needed to cooperate more. I think we need to use more the World Wide Web as what it was invented for, because we are communicating in not less. We are communicating a lot, but not the way we should be. I think we are going in a very wrong direction as a community. I speak as a word, because I mean, we are focusing on very silly aspect of our lives, and even myself. I mean, I am part of that, of course, and so I really think we should focus more on very important aspect of our life. Oh, we have my cat, and so we should communicate more, but thinking about what we communicate, and as a regard of the IT, maybe cooperate more, because I mean, in Italy, for example, we don't have many cooperation, even in our regions. We just work by ourselves, and if we work with others, it's because there is an external project, and it's difficult to find some I don't know, some real cooperation between the IT world, and if it is, it's very, very beautiful. So we should do it more.
So there needs to be an emphasis for more collaboration and interaction in the IT field among the IT technicians. Okay.
Yes, and not maybe races for who arrives first, who has the best one programmer, and I mean, this is the trend, but I would like to change that.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a really great insight and thought for the future IT sector and education program itself. Okay, so thank you, Jacopo, for coming today and providing us a really important insight and information on the IT sector and also its future and innovation. Okay, all right then. So I'm gonna end the recording now. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.